Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Julia. This is Margot, my daughter. She's cute. Oh. So this is an alternative art lesson, a bit of art history today, as well as a bit of mixed media. And we're going to be learning about, do you know whose work this is? Hopefully I'm in centre, I'm not quite sure, I think I am. Sonia Delaunay. So I did some work on her when I was at college many years ago. And I really loved her work. Obviously this is black and white. She does very colourful stuff. That is actually her husband's, Robert. But their work is very similar to each other's. And we're going to talk about that. So I'll tell you a bit of history about Sonia Delaunay. She was born in 1885, what we now call the Ukraine, and her name was Sarah Stern. But then she married Robert, and she's sort of Russian-French origin because Ukraine was part of Russia then. So she was born in the Russian Empire, which is now the Ukraine, and adopted by a wealthy uncle in St. Petersburg, where she received a good education and was introduced to Europe, culture and art. She studied later in Germany at the Academy of Fine Arts before moving to Paris in 1905, a major hub of modern artists thrived, and that was a really big time in art history. We'll talk about that some other time. But Sonia Delaunay married Robert Delaunay in 1910. And they were massive influence on each other's art, both very creative together with themselves and as a life partnership. And they collaborated closely with their artwork, as you can see in this one. Hopefully you can see that okay. That's her husband, Robert Delaunay. So it's very similar. So it's what you call abstract expressionism. Can you see it all right? This way, this way, this way, that way. No. Obviously they are black and white, so do go and have a look on the internet yourselves. There is printouts of all this. If you go on my links, link in bio, and go on Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi link, there's a free PDF with more information. But yeah, her style was abstract expressionism, and it was more abstract than what was happening at the time with, say, like Picasso and Cubism. So it was like an offshoot of that, creating a movement called Orphism. Sounds weird word, isn't it? But it focuses more on colour and rhythm and music and movement of geometric shapes and colours, and especially a lot of discs. Can you see that? So my daughter's looking at the screen so she can see the other side.
Yes, I can.
Is that all right? Is that in shot, is it?
Yeah.
A lot of discs and circles and concentric circles, which is more like what these are. Concentric circles, which is a circle within a circle within a circle. And these are all brightly coloured and expressed a lot of movement and rhythm, and she was really obsessed with sort of colours, colour mixing and complementary colours. So it's a really good way of actually testing out and producing your own colours and colour mixing, you know, right from the primary colours and beyond. So yeah, I've done, I think there's 3 pages. So there's a bit about Sonia Delaunay in the free PDF. Tips on how to paint like Sonia Delaunay, and I'll show you some of that in a minute. And a bit more on the art movement that her and her husband Robert sort of invented, the Orphism. So it's even more abstract than abstract. So they really broke down sort of everyday objects into shapes and colours, into a way that you couldn't even see what they were anymore. So it's very symbolistic. So if you look at this one that Robert did, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Is that in the frame all right? Yeah. So at the top here, there's a plane symbol, And this is symbolising the time, the era when the first plane went over the English Channel. There's the Eiffel Tower here, because they both lived in Paris at the time. And the, you know, part of the massive abstract expressionist art movement there. And some other sort of symbols that you can sort of almost just pick out, some landscape bits and things like that. But they really abstract them down so you can't almost see what they are. But actually, those two things, the plane and the Eiffel Tower, you can make out. So art, the way I want to teach it to you, is the fact that it's a whole education. So you've got a bit of history in there, as well as geography. You've got a sign of the times, because art communicates everything to us about what's happening in the world around us. So why would we not want to study art and art history to tell us what has happened in the past and how artists have actually documented that through their own art and their own emotions about what's happening in the world? I think it's an amazing way, because you get to see through the lens of so many different minds, great minds as well, that show us just incredible ways of how to express what is going on in the world and how we can learn from that and move on from that. And just, it's just amazing, I find. So again, in the PDF, how to paint like Sonia, and then yeah, you've got the bit more about the movement of Orphism. So because there's many art movements in art history and art movements, which we will go into at some point, and I'll do them bit by bit on videos and such like, and I'll put them on my YouTube. This video will go on my YouTube as well, so if you haven't seen it, you can watch it again on Instagram here. But I think they do run out after so many weeks or something. I think they get rid of them, I'm not sure. But I will put it on YouTube within 24, 48 hours, this video. So you can watch it there, and they'll always be stored there. Once I get my website properly doing, because it's not live yet, I will store them on there as well as. So do go to my Ko-Fi shop, link in bio, get your free PDF on this art history mixed media lesson. So we have done some tests and experiments on how to paint like Sonia, because she also wanted to use a lot of layering of colours. And this is yours, this is my daughter's.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing some of this with some paints.
That's my last
moving,
test.
yeah. This one is amazing.
Oh, that's my second.
Yeah, look at that. Just look at the movement in it though, and the rhythm. Can you see the rhythms that goes with the moving the paint about? And then you've got the colours as well. I think it's amazing.
Yay!
We really enjoyed doing these. And then obviously these are some of our earlier ones where she was just getting to grips with how to twist your wrist around to create the movements. So, you know, it's a whole bit of a practice, but you can see how it's come on. And then it's come into, you know, these ones at the end. So do have a play about, just put those over there for me, darling. What we did as well is we started with some crayon, and then I've gone in with a paint. So you can draw a line if you want, just kind of like Sonia does on some of hers. Because can you see there's some straight lines that she's done in some of these. But these are inspired by, we're not copying, you know. So, as you can see, got some lines going through. You don't have to use a ruler pencil if you don't want to. We did just on one or two of them. I like that one, that's got some offshoots of colours, like a spectrum of light, which I love. So that's what I did on this one. And then I put some paint on top and do some scrape painting. That's what we're going to be doing today. So this is I've done some circles and I've done some semicircles. These are the squeezy paints from IKEA, the Mara range, but we're not going to be using these today actually. We're going to be using some acrylic paints, which you can also use. I just want to show you this one. Look at these. You can really see the movement of the circles in these. Look. So the big discs of colour.
You did that one.
I did do that one, yeah. These are all mine. These are the ones I did. So just going back to this one, with the crayon underneath, this is why it's mixed media, so crayon and then paint on top. we're mixing the media. So media is the paint or the crayon, that's what we call media or medium. I've done some colour mixing. So if you can see closely, the blue and the red, primary colours, they create what colour? Can you see that? Purple, yeah. So this is how we can do colour mixing. Just stand still because I don't know if it's moving the camera or not. Yeah. And then we've got the blue and the yellow. Can you see that? What colour does that make? Can you see that on there?
Oh, green.
Green, yes, exactly. And then we have got a yellow and a red somewhere, which makes what colour? Okay, I could just see it there. Yellow and a red makes
Orange.
orange, exactly. So it's easy colour mixing. And obviously you can do some more colour mixing from there on. Just put those down there. So go and grab your PDF if you want to do this as an actual art history lesson with the practical of the mixed media art as well. Just going to put some stuff down on the floor. This is a really good book to get just in your arsenal of reference books for art. The art book, it's been around donkey's years, and if you have a look, it's just full and full and full. It's all in alphabetical order as well, so it's really good. And it is an English book, so the word colour does have a U in it, which is good. It's not an American book. No offence or anything, but when I read it, I'm like, oh yes, I can see. It was published in the UK. So, what we're going to do, we're going to get some paper when you're ready. I've got a massive A3 sketchbook here. So cartridge paper, doesn't matter, it's got bits on. I'm going to rip it out. Do you want one, Margot? Do you want one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's put that aside. Can you see all right on there still?
Yeah.
Yes. We've got some oil pastels. So this is the mixed media. So you can do oil pastels, or we do have crayons. Which one would you like, Margot?
Oils.
Oils. So we've got crayons there, just to show you. We've got crayons. And the way we want to use them, we want to use them on their side to get a really good sweep of colours. So same with the oil pastels and the crayons. I've peeled off the paper. Now, for children, they're not bothered about the peelings. They'll probably peel them off anyway. So it is a good thing to do, and it actually aids in their self-expression. It's easier for them to get, to grips with just using the whole of the crayon, not just the tip, not just the end. So do have a good go. Soak these in warm water, and very lukewarm water, crayons, for an hour or two, or overnight. If it's overnight, it doesn't need to be lukewarm water. Otherwise you'll melt your crayons, like I did once. So, yeah, and then next day just peel them off, and most of them should come off easily depending on what brand they are, we've noticed. These just came off straight away, didn't need to soak the oil pastels. I just literally got these from a bargain shop. They were £1, but they're really good to have in your art kit. Really good, because these are creamier as well. I'll show you both. Let me just have a look on the camera though, because I think I might need to tilt you a bit. Just probably don't see my face as much now, but that's fine. Right, Margaret, what did you want? Do you want to pull your chair out? And... yeah. Which one did you want? Oil pastels?
Oil.
Oils. So these are a lot creamier and richer. So I'm just going to do some big sweeps. I say like Sonia's stuff, you don't have to do it like this at all. This is just inspired by. This isn't copying, because obviously if you copy, it's what we call plagiarism. But what you can actually do in studying art is get like a little viewfinder and put it around, follow it around your picture. And if you find an interesting spot, you can then copy that area. So it's a little area there, and it will teach you a lot about what we call methodology. And that's how a drawing or painting a piece of art was actually produced. And you don't have to follow that methodology, but it gives you a good idea of how paintings were actually painted, because there's so many different techniques, so many different ways. There's lots of things you can do. So I'm just going to get some yellow. And what I'm doing, I'm going over the top of the other colours, so I'm crisscrossing them. That's just broken. Doesn't matter. And then these will create new colours, hence the colour mixing. So then if I've done yellow, and then if I put blue on top, what colours will I get? If I mix the blue and the yellow,
Green.
you'll get green. And then you may not see that as green from there. If you keep going over it like that, it will come more green. I'll hold it up for you. Can you see that? It's a lot more green. Can you see it on there all right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You can really see the green.
And then with the blue, then we could go in with a red and then go over the blue. What colour will that create?
Purple.
My favourite colour.
It's not that purpley.
No, it's not that purpley, but you know what? It will start to pick up. Oh, you can go over again with the blue.
But Mummy,
Yeah.
if you like put pink and blue together, it will more make a purple.
Do you think so? Should we put pink then?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, bless you. The wise words from my daughter then. But you know, if it's a dark blue and a light pink, it will have different shades of purple. So actually it is just about coming through. But if you then do the oil pastels, this is where we want to play with materials. Have you? This is where we really want to play with materials to find out what works best for whatever you want to achieve. Hey, if you don't want to achieve anything, that's fine. Literally just play with materials and see what happens. Now I've gone over that blue. Sorry, I'm using blue to go over that red. You can press on hard, but you don't have to press on too hard. That was the oil pastel. Now let's get the red oil pastel and go over that blue. Yeah, we're starting to get some different shades of sort of indigos and purples, aubergines. Can you see that coming through? There's different ways of doing it up. So you don't have to just colour mix just with paint at all. You can colour mix with crayons, oil pastels. Have a play, have an experiment, because it's the only way you're going to find out. So let's try this yellow over the red, and what colour will make it? What two colours?
Orange!
Yeah,
I
actually
can see
that's
already.
worked really well, yeah. That's really popped out really well, look. Some colours do work a bit better than the others. Also, what we did find is the pressure I've just put on. Sometimes you put on a bit harder pressure or a bit lighter pressure to achieve the colour mixing. So have a play. I'm all for playing with materials. If you follow my account, you will know playing is the best way to find out anything. And because this is an art history lesson, it's also a mixed media lesson. I always want to sort of mix them up if I can, because then we can show you how artists worked, how they thought, what their ideas were, how they wanted to portray them, and how we can actually portray them in our own way. We don't have to necessarily copy ideas all the time, but we can take inspiration, which is a really good thing. So we can create our own colours. Look at that green, that's really popped out. That orange has really popped out. There's some pinks and purples and blues going on, hints, but that's fine. So, and then just, you know, just do as you wish. And any other, you could do some ellipses, so it's a bit like an eye shape.
Oh, I like that. It's like a cat
And then
eye.
it is like a cat eye. You can always go in with another colour if you want. I'm not colour mixing now, but you know, colours will mix naturally anyway. And just be careful, if you're mixing too many colours together, they will just go brown. That happens with paint, but it also happens with crayons and oil pastels as well. So just be aware of that. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a bit more of this. Not loads more. Let's put some bright green, because then I am going to show you onto the painting stage, because it's even more exciting in my opinion. A bit of green up there. Big sweeping motion. See, I'm using the side. Look how flat that is now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm made a rainbow circle.
Oh, do you want to show everyone the rainbow circle? It's what my daughter's just done. It's like a target. So that is like the concentric circles, like Sonia Delaunay did, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a rainbow form.
In a rainbow form, exactly. So my daughter's taken it her own way.
Is
That's
that
a
an
good thing.
oil pastel?
Oh, yes, it is an oil pastel. Sorry. Put it in the wrong place, didn't I? I'm using a mixture of stuff right now. That's a nice pink. Let's use a bit of pink against the green. And then, as I showed you in my colour composition, shall we say, I put the paint on top. You can still see through it, and that's what I like of the layers, just like Sonia Delaunay did. She liked to build up layers, and I love to build up layers and see through layers. I like to see the textures and the colours, and that way you also see what we call the methodology, how things are, how it works basically, how things are put together. Want to tell you more of the colours? Black is always quite a powerful colour as well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realised you've used some black. Put any colour next to black, it makes pop out. So now see I put that black next to that pink. That pink looks a bit brighter, doesn't it? So, let's do some grey.
I like that. That looks like a sunset.
Yeah, it does look like a sunset, doesn't it? So a bit of grey helps to harmonise colours. Right, I think it's time to paint. I'm just going to paint because I love painting. So what we've got here, because we're going to do some scrape painting, I've got some like old club card type things. We also did use some thick cardboard. Is there any questions there? Can you see any questions? Just going to have a check.
I can't see.
No, people have joined though. Thank you for joining. Please do, as I say, just share this out. I'm going to use acrylic, so I'm just going to put these things away for now. Are you still going to use the oil pastels, yeah?
Yeah, I love the oil pastel.
I am talking to my daughter.
Oil? What's oil?
Oh, I don't know what it is. So for the paints, I do have some wet wipes here and some kitchen towel. Those are a list of things to bring if you wanted to follow along. Fair enough if you don't want to, do it in your own time, that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to get a wet wipe out, I know what I'm like. Just have it at the ready at the side. So, I've got these really big box of acrylic paints. This is just a starter kit because, oh look at that, the lovely colours. And they're a smaller tube. So I'm just going to get the primary colours out to show the colour mixing. So I'm going to get red. What other primary colours are there, Margot?
Blue.
Blue. Which blue? Should we just have like a medium blue? Will it work?
Just do the
I
light
think that one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then yellow.
Yellow, okay. So they're three primary colours. Like a bit of colour mixing, don't we? So I am just going to put some small blobs.
Nails in the way.
I'm just going to get some kitchen roll as well, just in case. But what you can do actually, because when we put some blobs on and do some scraping, you will get some excess paint left on your scraper board or whatever you want to call this. So it's good to have a piece of paper, scrap paper. Just trying to think, have I got a piece of scrap paper? Not quite, but what I will do, I'll use one of these.
Where's the black?
Oh, I think I've put it away in the.
Oh,
Just like this one there, look, just use that one. Just going to use some paper, and then I can get rid of my excess paint on there, and then you can always use that as collage paper, you see, so nothing wasted. So what I'm going to do first is always start with the lighter colour. So let's just put some blobs of paint
Is
on.
my arm in the way?
I've no idea, darling. Tiny bit of blob there, look.
Do like an eye type thing, like you did.
And then I'm going to put some red next to it. And then so red and yellow make.
No, my arm's not in the way.
What do red and yellow make?
Orange.
Orange.
That's me like.
So I'm going to take this, and maybe you just want to just run your thumb down it just to flatten it so it's got a slight edge. You don't have to, just play. And I'm just going to hold it at an angle, and I'm going to veer it down towards the paper. And I'm just going to use my wrist to rotate round.
Like I am.
You might want to swap hands, but it's up to you. Ooh.
I think I need the dark one.
And then just keep going round and round and round if you want. It's up to you. Or you can just do semicircles, or it's totally up to you. And the colours will mix, look.
I'm creating like an eye.
There you go. And then you've got a bit left over, so I'm just going to scrape it on there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Nice and rich, isn't it? Oh, exactly. So I've just got my wet wipe just to... So then,
Wipe yourself.
with the yellow, I'm going to put a bit of yellow there. Oh, that was quite a bit. And then I'm going to put a bit of blue next to
That'll
it.
be green.
It'll be green, yes, that's right. Oh, I might even use this blue. Look, I've got the what's it, foil still on. Well, who knew? Oh. There we are. So yeah, I've never actually done this with the acrylic paints. So this, yeah, I'll show you with one of the club cards this time. I want to overlap it, so I'm actually going to go backwards to show you better if I can, like this, look. And the more you press it down towards the paper, the more paint will scrape off, can you see? And it's starting to mix the colours as well. Look, oh yeah, that green's coming through now. Look, can you see that? So I've still got some paint left, which I could go in somewhere else and do maybe a bit of a semicircle, or try at least. And just stop. And then you can always go back. See if it makes a better shape or not. No, that's it. Scrape it off on your excess. But it doesn't matter, you see, because even after all this is dried, you could go in with a big black marker and go around the shapes if you wanted to, or just leave it. I like the drag marks, but that shows the movement, you see. And like you say, that rhythm, because can you see that now? I'll hold it up for you. Because crayon or oil pastels don't mix with paint, it's what you call resisted it. So this is a resist technique as well. Because can you see that coming through there?
Oh,
So it's got a nice effect, I think. So again, that's portraying the movement, yeah, and the rhythm. You see that?
I'm
So
putting
it's a
white
really
over this.
Oh, nice. So that's a really good way of portraying the movement, the colour, the rhythm. And that portrays what we call the pace. So the rhythm is like the pace. It's like a piece of music. So, right, what we want to do now, we want to do
Or maybe like the food paste.
blue. And let's do a bit of red.
Nope.
And what colour is that going to make?
Maybe.
Well, it should do, shouldn't it? No. So we'll go in again with this, the cardboard, I think. You can always just, you know, do a bit of this if you want to. And then scrape it round. It's up to you. I like the big circles personally. But as you can see from some of my test bits, I did a lot of semicircles. Or even just quarter bits. Oh, look at that movement. I love that.
I love that one.
And then you've got some purple coming through as well here, look. Can you see the movement in that? I love it.
Oh, yes.
That look alright on there?
Yeah.
Sorry, my daughter's telling me because I'm holding it up to the camera. I've got quite a bit of paint on there, so I'm going to do a bit more somewhere else, I think. So, but don't be afraid of turning your paper as well. Let's turn it.
When you're doing it with the oil pastels or the crayons, when it doesn't show up that much, just rev it up maybe at first. That's what you told me.
Do what?
If the colour didn't show
I
that much,
see what you mean,
just rev it up.
I'll show you that in a minute. So I've just done that. Yeah, it's not a full circle or a semicircle even, but you can still see the movement. You can actually see the methodology in that, because you can see where I started with that line, gone all the way around, stopped, and then actually I've gone again, and you can just see a faint line there. So that's what we can see the methodology. See how I've done it. Yeah, see the workings of this art piece. And I like, you see the textures of the white clean tablecloth underneath. Can you just see that? The dots underneath. I love that.
I do.
Yeah, so we've got texture, we've got colour, we've got movement, we've got rhythm, we've got, see the methodology, we've got colour mixing, and this is all mixed media. Don't you think that's just amazing? And I could just leave it there like that and just leave it and that's the piece done. You know? I'm just going to check the screen, see if there's any questions. Any questions, anybody? No, but give us a wave. Or when it says wave next to your name, am I meant to give you a wave? I don't even know, you know. Tell me, somebody, please. So, do we want to carry on? I have still got some paint on that. I haven't got a lot, so I don't think it's going to work. So I'm just going to... Oh, look at that. Oh, lovely. Can you see what I'm doing here? So that's my excess paint. So you could do all sorts of things with that. Once it's dry, you can use it as collage paper. And then you can literally make it into anything if it's collage paper. You can make it into streamers, you can cut it up for journaling, sketchbooking, cut bits out, add on to it, draw on it, just all sorts of things. Shall I do some more of this or not? Shall I do a different colour?
Yeah.
What colour shall I do? Shall I leave the colour mixing for now? I think we've shown that we can colour mix the yellow and red to produce orange, the yellow and blue to produce green, and the red and blue to produce purple.
Wait, you missed one out.
Oh, have I? What have I missed out?
White and red.
Oh yeah, that's not the primary colours though, is it? You see, we were just dealing with the primary colours, weren't we? The blue, the yellow and the red.
White and reddy pinky.
You want to do pinky? You can do pink on yours. So I'll show you what my daughter's done so far. She's on the oil pastel stage part.
That's an eye.
That's an eye. So I literally can take inspiration from anywhere and put
I
it.
did like this colour
So like a
on
pale,
kind of here, but you can't see it.
a pale skin tone colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's different ways you can do
That's the little piece.
spray art. So you can use one of those, or just start saving bits of cardboard. But if you have got old club cards, it is a really good thing to do, like we do. Yeah, shall I do another colour or
I'm
not?
going to do a Christmassy one.
Christmas? It's not Christmas.
I know, but I just want to do one. I've stopped with the green and then gone round with the red.
So I hope this has inspired you
Oh,
to create your own
I love that.
Sonia Delaunay inspired art and learnt a bit about her life and her husband as well, and art movements, because there's plenty of them. So a tiny bit of art history there connected, but it's always good to connect art history and the work and take it into your own direction, and then I think you understand more in a conceptual way then how work was produced and the meanings behind it as well.
Oh, Mummy, look at that.
Ooh, lovely. Well, I've got lots of colours. What colour shall I pick? Do this green or just do pink? Did you want pink? Do you want a pink?
Well, I am going to do
We could stay here forever doing this, to be honest with you. So.
the paint in a minute.
Okay, I'm going to put some pink there. What colour shall I put with the pink?
Purple.
Purple. I've got a purple there, look. So that means I have to mix my own. I have got a darker red actually. Should we put...
Oh, yeah.
This feels like it's a new one. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, a bit blobby. And I've got a different blue. Oh, this one's quite a dark blue. Should put it on that side.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. So 3 colours this time. And I'll use the cardboard again, I think. So let's go around. No, we don't know what it's going to be like, do we? So this is why it's really good to just experiment.
Oh,
That is cool. Oh, I do like that. That's very bright and vibrant, and that's really in keeping with the topic of the colours. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So actually the pink's been overridden by the red and the blue. But look, I've got plenty there as well, so I can go in again really have to face it down right now. Now I'm just going to do a semicircle there. Look. Turn the page. I've got loads more still, look at that. So let's do some.
I'm doing a lot of circles.
There you go. It's like a fan shape, quite like that, it's a fan shape. Still got loads more, but I'm really getting close to the cardboard, touching the paper. Oh, look at that. Oh, hey, then I've got a bit of green and yellow there. Where did that come from? I think it came from here, but it was on there, but it was there. And I don't know where it came from, but you know what? It looks great, so I don't really mind.
I love it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
I love it too.
I think I'm done with this.
Actually, I think I'm done with that. So I'm just going to scrape that away. Oh, look at that. Scrapey, scrapey. Actually, I'm going to scrape the other way as well, so I've still got loads of paint there.
Oh,
See what happens.
You're going to scrape down.
See, more movement, more scrape art.
I'm done with this.
Okay, you're going to do some painting?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop painting now because my daughter's going to do some painting. And I'm going to call this
A day.
art history, yeah, I'll call it a day. This art history alternative art lesson about Sonia Delaunay and her husband Robert and their artwork over right now. So I hope you enjoyed this and are inspired to do a bit of your own. Remember, just have a play with material, see how they work together or don't work together, because that could be beautiful as well. Create lots of different effects. You only need the most basic of materials and supplies as well. Get yourself some acrylic paints or some squeezy like poster paints, tempera paints you can use as well. Crayons, everyone's got crayons. They just work just as well as oil pastels really. Oil pastels are only £1 a box, so you know. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. We're so happy, aren't we? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I'm not sure when my next live will be because we are going away next week, bit after. But bye for now.